Oftentimes, people are always amazed, surprised, and sometimes even disappointed at how men go on to treat their subsequent wives better than their previous wives. And in this context, I mean men whom their first wives left, either because they brought in another woman or because they possess character, they possess attributes that makes the marriage difficult to live with, and these women eventually had to check out. Oftentimes you see that these men seem to be better for these new women in their lives, and a lot of people are always like, why weren't you all this for the first? Why didn't you treat this one like this? She's the one who suffered with you, and now you have married a new person. It's not always the case that this man loves the new one more. Oftentimes it's even the opposite. They love the one that has gone more, but their ability to be better for this person is not often tied to how they feel inside. These major four factors contribute to why it always look like these men have become better for the new wife. Number one, he has become a mature man. He's better. He has learned from the previous wife how better to handle a home, how better to treat a woman. And this is not even rocket science. See, for men who married at whatever age, maybe young or old, but I mean to their first wives, there is always that earlier time in marriage is always like a learning curve for the parties involved, but I'm focusing on men here. So this is the phase where the man learns, oh, okay, this is what to do. This is how to be a better husband. This is how to be a better father. This is how to treat a woman. This is how to handle the home. Basically, a lot of things, they had to learn it in that marriage. Now, learning this thing often comes with, chaos sometimes, arguments, disagreements, fights, quarrels, and all of that. For these things to eventually become, stable in the home, and for these men to, actually wake up to the reality and say, okay, realize that, okay, yeah, I can actually do this. If I do this, is better. This is what I should do. This is how I should do. This is what is expected of me, or this is what I can do. You understand? So, oftentimes that beginning is not that rosy. Now, in subsequent marriages, they have learned this. So, more often than not, they are not going to repeat those same things that the first wife had to fight over time, argue about, had issues. That's why I often tell my husband, I said, see, should he ever remarry another wife? You see, our story is not going to be the same of who you are. Subhanallah, he's way, way a better person now. He never was a bad person, but definitely better. Definitely better, because I believe I'm also a better person now. We learned, you understand? We learn things, we unlearn things, we relearn things, you understand? So he knows better how to be a man now, in the home. So there are some of those things, the bulk of those things that we already fought over, we already talked about, had conversation about, did try and error about. It's not something any subsequent wife is going to have to deal with anymore, because he now understands that, okay, this is how it should be. I understand no two women are the same. She might also come with her own stuff, but there are things that are generally and peculiar to women. So definitely the subsequent wife is not going to have to do that job. So the cracks that existed between the man and the first wife is not going to exist in the subsequent marriages, even if it would on a smaller scale, because like I said, he has grown now. He's a better man now, and he would be able to tame even the excesses of the new one coming. He knows how to do it, as a man. That's one. The second reason is he has to maintain a happy profile, especially for people in the public, like celebrities, even the people who are not celebrities. You know that your first left because you were not an ideal man. You kept on doing things that took the marriage to a hit, to the point she had to leave. Now you bring in another person, or she left because you brought in another person. There is that human part of this man who would want to do better, so that what he would have now is better than what he had, especially because he has to keep that profile. If he's a celebrity, to viewers, to the public, and if he's not a celebrity, to the family, his own family, and the family of his ex and friends as well. So even if he knows that certain things were difficult for him in the first marriage, in fact he never got to the point where he learned to do them, if this second one is also making a case out of it now, he's more willing to do better now, because he doesn't want what has happened to repeat itself. There is something, I don't know if to call it a cliche or a structure, a societal construct that believes that the particular partner who divorces or left multiple persons, maybe the woman has multiple husbands that she had left, or the husband has multiple wives that has left him, automatically is the problem. So even though it's not true, this is not true. Some people are just really unlucky. It's not that, oh, they kept living, that automatically makes them the problem. No, it's just in some people's qadar that they might have to marry 3-4 times before they get to their final bus stop. Qadar. So but more often than not, we know this is a societal belief. So this man too is trying hard to not do things that will make people say, oh, that one said don't go, or that one is also complaining. So he's somehow he by default wants to be a better person. The third is just publicity. He really is not a better person. They are just putting up a beautiful what do I call it? A beautiful picture out there. He's not a better person. The home is not anything to write home about, but they are both just putting up a front to make people feel, oh, they are happy, they're good, they are cool with the marriage, everything is going perfectly. Because very similar to the previous point is that he actually is acting to be better so that nothing happens. But this other point means there is chaos. No one is really even trying, but the chaos is in their home because of the situation surrounding the previous marriage and all of that. They are both trying to put up a front to people. It's not real. They are really not doing all of that, but they are trying to put up in front of people that, oh, we are happy, we are good. And this is even peculiar to celebrities. More often than not, you see that celebrities who maybe their wives left because they brought in another woman, or who left their wives for another person, you suddenly see them everywhere living the kind of life they've not lived before, or they were not known to live. And then you're suddenly surprised that, wait, what happened? This man was not like this before. No, he wasn't. But right now, they have to put up a show to make people think that he has gotten something better than what he lost. You understand? There was a post there was a post some time ago. It was an anonymous post. The guy said he has divorced his first wife because to him back then, as at those times, she is not giving him peace, and that he is married now to his second wife, and in all honesty he would rather be single than be in the marriage he's in now. But he does not want to leave that marriage or divorce this person because people will think he is the problem, and also because he does not want to become a laughing stock in the book of his ex-wife. You understand? So he's stuck in that marriage. He's not happy. According to him, he said that's not a marriage. He's so unhappy. If he thought what he went through with the first wife is she doesn't give me peace, then right now he's in hell. But they are putting up a front. He even said they post pictures regularly, which he doesn't even do with the first. So they started, like when they got married, they started posting pictures often, just to show people, oh, I'm in a better place now. That one might have gone, but I have a better person in my life now. But that when the reality hits, and he realized that he has just married his Waterloo, and they just kept on with the fake publicity of, oh, we are in love, we are so happy. So they post pictures. I think maybe he said every Sunday or whatever. They post pictures regularly, even on their social media platform. So to people seeing them, this man later end up with this woman, he loves her so much, they are so happy. But it's total opposite. He regrets ever divorcing the first, and said he will choose her a million times over what or who he has in the house now. And he also said something, because it was a long post. He said, it's not every woman you can divorce. The woman you can just tell, okay, you know what, I'm done with this marriage, and she leaves, is even an easygoing person. That he never knew there are women that you cannot divorce. You even say go. She said, we are in this together. And really, if you jam a very troublesome woman, not every woman then they divorce true. Some, you are terribly unhappy, you die there. If you say, oh, I'll bring more wives, she will tell you, bring that more wife, I'm going nowhere. So you see this man's story, we don't know him, it's an anonymous post. So for this anonymous post now, he left whatever he thought. He said he later realized that what he was complaining about from his wife, that why will his wife be challenging complaining, is basically every man's experience, that, oh, women complain a lot, you understand, women complain a lot. And he was like, so because of this thing that is so general, he sent her away, and now he said he is the one complaining. He's the one complaining his new marriage. So basically, to people watching them now, this man is now happy. He treats the wife so nice. They post good pictures every Sunday. The wife also posts the husband every Sunday. My love, I'll do this life with you again. It's you forever and ever. However, the reality is they are far from being happy. So oftentimes these are some of the things that make us who are not in the inside think that these men became better men for their wives. But no, or that the women they married are better than the ones that left. Yes, there are cases where, like I said, there are cases where it genuinely is the case, especially if the woman who left is the troublesome person and she just wasn't really giving the man peace or whatever. Yes, we have women who are abusive too. So if he ends up marrying a woman who is not like that one, yes, there will be peaceful, they will have a peaceful home. But more often than not, it's not the case. It's just the case of let's make it look like this what it is. Because there are people waiting actually to see the outcome of that marriage, and they know that there are people waiting to see if the one who left truly is the problem or he has a problem. So at the end of the day, they just force it to work or force it to look like it's working, even though it's not. And the fourth factor that actually contributes to this is that, yes, there are cases where truly the man is genuinely happy where he is now. It doesn't mean that the person who left is bad. It probably means that the person who left does not match his energy. You see, oftentimes when men want to get married, especially at that young age, at that hustling, struggling phase, they have description, and oftentimes what's in their head is wife material, the typical traditional wife material. You understand? So many of them know that they're kind of person they don't actually they they shouldn't actually settle with a traditional wife material, but because they feel, oh, that is the rave, that's what every man talks about, oh, a traditional woman, they go for one. Then they realize later that yes, the woman is everything she should be, but she is not his person. She does not fit his person. I'm just saying. So at the end of the day, if for whatever reason they go their separate ways, or he wants to remarry another person, he goes for somebody who is not the traditional ideal wife, but that is the person who fits his element. So you might end up even seeing that a man is married to a woman who probably is not as submissive, is not as respectful, is not as decent as the one that left, but he seemed happier with her. It could also be genuine. You understand? It could also be a genuine happiness with whom he is with now, because even though the person is not the traditional ideal wife, she fits his person. Her elements, who she is, aligns with who he is. So they are going to be happier, even though they are not the typical traditional ideal, but he would be happier. That's why you can see sometimes that a man who is reserved, he doesn't party with the first wife, he doesn't do reckless thing with the first, suddenly he's with another wife and then he's going haywire and doing things that people will be like, he's not like this. He probably had been like that, but because of the kind of person he's married to, who is more reserved and more traditional, he's also limited to that. So if the opportunity comes for him to change things or to add things, he spices it up with that other one that is totally different, and then you see him now going haywire and doing things and people are like, what's wrong with this person? So he actually had just gotten who fits him. The person, in by measurement of value, based on what we know as traditional value, she might not even measure up to the one that left, but he feels at home with this one. So yes, these are the 4 reasons that always contribute to us thinking that men love the subsequent one better, or he's happier with the subsequent one. Oftentimes it's not that he's happier, it's just that 1 or 2 that I've mentioned. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.